All right, folks, we are live. It's Road Coin. Sorry for the lateness, but hey, you're with the greatness. It's the one and only V, the Grill Economist, with my main man. Our main dudes, not our main man. CJ's not here, but our main dudes, Crypto Cowboy, Crypto Z, and the one and only man who's simply known as Frank. Guys, what's going on?
What's going on, B?
Oh, we're doing great.
Here. How's your weekend?
Great.
Fantastic.
My weekend was chill. This is the first, you know what it was? First weekend in a while where I didn't have some like crushing task I had to complete. You know what I mean? You have like weekend after weekend where there's like some awful thing you have to do. And I said to my wife yesterday, I'm like, hey, I don't have any awful thing we have to do today. So
my weekend was cool. My fiance and her, female relatives, they all went to go watch some show. And so I just kind of took Sunday morning and did what I like to do. And I did a bunch of charts and talked with the guys in the room. Even, we usually don't, Z and I don't really work on Sundays and Saturdays very often. But, sometimes we just pretty much capitulate to our addiction to cryptos. We go in and we go work. So that's what I did a lot of the weekend.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Z?
I took the weekend off this time. The last 2 weekends, as Cowboy said, we've always said that we're not going to work on the weekends. We end up putting 10 hours a day on each week each weekend day.
I chuckled as soon as Nick said we don't really work on the weekends.
So it's like oh man,
which one? Which weekend are we talking about?
So this time around, I took the weekend off, spent some time with my girl, and I just had some good relaxing time.
So her name's Aisha, right?
I really like that song, by the way. There is a song called Aisha.
Yeah, I remember that. Aisha.
Sorry.
I never had.
But Z's girl is actually, she's a sweetheart.
I'm sure she's wonderful. I saw the opening. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she actually had a interview for a vet clinic this weekend. She might be starting a vet work soon, so it'll be good.
Oh, she might also be. I've heard rumors that she might be winding up on the farm and stuff. Producing cheese.
Gosh.
Maybe she'll have a portrait of Barack
Obama. I think Barack Obama was unveiling a picture of the farm recently.
Oh
gosh. We gotta stop. People are just lost already.
Yeah, they're lost already. Are we talking about cryptos on this damn show?
Yeah. Let's talk about cryptos. I'm excited about cryptos. I'm seeing some life in my portfolio that I haven't seen in what feels like ages.
Yeah, where are we at right now, man?
Can I tell you guys something? Let me calculate this percentage really quick. I changed portfolio trackers, right?
Mm-hmm. From what?
And I was actually really chill this weekend. I wasn't really in any trades. I was kind of in a hodl mode. And just because I didn't have the focus for it, I was busy not being busy. And but I found an old, like several weeks old copy of my portfolio from weeks ago, compared to today's portfolio when I've been actively following the entertainment in the Watches Trade Room, right? Yeah. And it was just a few weeks ago. And the entire portfolio, and remember, I trade very lightly, so other people have had way better results than this. The entire portfolio is up. It has to be about at least 15%.
Now, is that in Satoshi, Frank, or is that in dollars?
This is in dollars.
Okay. Well, yeah. I know part of the reason that a lot's going on in the market right now. In fact, I've got Bitcoin up on the screen, so this might kind of relate to what you're talking about. Bitcoin has a certain market cycle, like any other market does. However, Bitcoin's market cycle directly affects the rest of the coins. And I know we've talked about this on the show, but we do have a lot of new listeners. So I just wanted to kind of briefly go over how things work in the cryptoverse when Bitcoin goes up and Bitcoin goes down. So, I think it was Friday night, Saturday morning. California Pacific time, I wake up to a bunch of, messages from our guys in the group wanting to get having some interesting entertainment. Hey, all the altcoins dropped overnight. Everything dropped. It's like, okay, well, what ended up happening was Bitcoin went for a run. And so there's a couple of things that happen. Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down, or it doesn't. That's kind of a silly thing to say. But when Bitcoin goes up or down, people tend to sell out of their alts.
Yeah.
So,
right? Basically, they're FOMOing into it.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're FOMOing into it. However, they may also be following a strategy that Z and I have developed for, since we've been in the game. What'll happen is Z and I are very interested in collecting Satoshi. And for the new listeners, Satoshi are Bitcoin. So it's just a fraction of a Bitcoin. So we're interested in increasing our Bitcoin holdings. So, when people say, oh, well, my portfolio is up and I say, well, is that dollars or Satoshi? Mm-hmm. Well, in this case, it is important to think
both about in this case, big time.
Yeah. So, of course you're stoked. But we do focus on collecting Satoshi because here's what might happen. Right now we're knocking on that 9,100 support. In fact, if you look at my chart right now, you could see that we have what's called, at least what I am believing and identifying as, an ascending triangle. It's a bullish thing. And so you can see all these wicks are kind of touching this area. And when I have a 9,100 resistance, it's really a zone. And that zone can actually sort of stretch a little bit below. And if we did stretch that zone below, as I'm doing on the screen right now, you can see that we're wicking up to this 90-25 area. And we're kind of bouncing back down. So if we wanted to treat that 90-25 area sort of as our resistance right now, I'm going to modify our chart just a little bit. What usually happens if there is enough sentiment is eventually this resistance is going to break down. And, basically it's Z's battering ram that Z likes to talk about, where these wicks keep punching up against this resistance and punching and punching. If the sentiment is positive, and if this happens over a long enough period of time, we can expect a run. Historically, some of the resistance points, I know 9,500 is a big one. So if I do see a break of this 9,100 zone, I would expect us to get to 9,500 before we really see any kind of natural resistance. And of course, anybody who's looked at markets long enough is going to know that Bitcoin is severely manipulated. So we're kind of, for example, we had this just a couple of days ago, and I could bring up the chart if everybody wanted to see it. But what I told everybody was, I'm seeing some things here. Now, everything here said it wanted to go down to a degree, not everything, but a lot of indicators had Bitcoin wanting to go down. It was going into an upward wedge. It was, volume was decreasing, selling volume was increasing. There were a lot of things that were concerning. There were some other things that were positive looking, but I did see certain things that told me that people who have a ton of money may be keeping the price from going down. And what those things are, I don't want to reveal here on the show. We revealed it last show, but the point is that I called that it was going to go up, and that's exactly what it did. Charting Bitcoin is sort of like, I don't want to call it a guilty pleasure because it's not guilty, but it's a pleasure for me. So that's what we have. And so that's where we're possibly going. We could drop to 8,100. We could go up to, say, 9,500.
And it's this is a new show. We're on the 23rd because I think we started the last show with the same exact information, because we started our last episode, you were like, here's what I said was going to happen, here's exactly what happened.
If you look at the history of Bitcoin, you can look at that same exact pattern that's happening right now, that just happened on the 17th starting. It looks like almost identical to what is actually playing out right now. It's upward wedge right now, and it's still pumped up, so hopefully it continues.
Yeah, it's luckily, it was definitely upward wedge until we started to get some higher wicks. Then it
so if you see it from the 17th all the way to the 19th and a half right there, that upward channel rising, and then it caused a pump up, and then it kept going up.
Yeah, which is like,
and then beforehand.
I'm sorry, Z, go ahead.
No, I'm saying the 17th and a half, or the 18th, essentially. It's a little bit less than 17th. The 18th, rising upwards, and then you have that giant spike up.
Yeah, it's so, Z and I look at Bitcoin all the time, and we're also a part of a network of guys where we all sort of get together and say, what do you guys see? And so we're also pretty well connected. And long story short, so far what we've been able to predict has gone on. We're not perfect. We do make mistakes, and when we do, makes we don't call it a mistake, but whenever our prediction leans opposite of the way that things actually go, we have stop losses in place to protect us on that.
That's the key, those stop losses.
So, Z, is there anything I left out on Bitcoin or?
No. For me, the way I'm looking at Bitcoin right now is I'm looking at patterns and how they're playing out. And the last patterns all the way back to the 11th really has been playing out the same. So that entire upward wedge has been showing like it's supposed to be bearish at the ends of each of those flags, and it's been continuing mowing up. So, I think Bitcoin is going to keep running personally. Yeah, I don't see 9100 as that strong of a resistance. I think 10K is the strong resistance because it's psychological as well. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm with Z on that.
I agree as well. I think the real psychological barrier is the 10K.
Yeah, no, that's pretty astute. I think we're all seeing that, and I know V. Did you want me to look at Bitcoin Cash?
Yeah, man, go for it.
I know V has an interest in Bitcoin Cash. I have an interest in it because I believe it is kind of like, if you listen to Roger Ver, and I do believe that Bitcoin has more or less been co-opted. I think most people are probably not going to argue with that. That the banks have kind of gotten their fingers into Bitcoin. It's kind of a foregone conclusion if you ask me, but Bitcoin Cash itself it's like Bitcoin, but better if you look at it from purely a platform standpoint, because it's Bitcoin with the SegWit and the banks, there's no Lightning Network, which is the which is basically where the banks could get their fingers in if you talk to Roger Ver. So I've been keeping an eye on it because V's been asking about it. Hey, chart BCH, and so I have been. And about 3-4 nights ago, I'm sure V is like sick of getting texts from me, and 7 o'clock on a Friday night. But I'm like, dude,
never.
I'm like, dude, BCH, Bitcoin Cash is going to run, dude. I think it's going to run. And sure enough, this is April 18th and 19th. So what we're looking at here is this is the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin Cash. And some things that I saw were looking pretty good. We had a big retracement from this nice spike that happened back here in December when everything went really high. And what happens with Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin Gold, things like that, is that Bitcoin goes for a run. And like clockwork, maybe a week, 2 weeks after Bitcoin's runs, these other Bitcoins kind of come up. And I'm not sure why. I think they're being treated as a hedge. So, I think that a lot of people feel like the Bitcoin diamonds and the Bitcoin golds, I think they feel like they're going to go somewhere. And so people hedge with them. Who knows? I also know that once Bitcoin runs and then stabilizes, the altcoins tend to run. This is the strategy that Z and I talked about earlier in the show. So I think we're seeing that play out. And I told V right about where my mouse is right now, around say 0.09, just a little above that. And then it ran up here. On the 4-hour chart, it's currently in the cloud, which means that it's very bullish. However, it does need to get to a certain point before we can say that it's doing really well. And it's in the 0.15 to 0.16 resistance. There's kind of something wrong with the chart here because this isn't correct. Let me refilter this. BCH. Go to Bitfinex. BCH. Okay. See, that's much better. You can see that this candle poked all the way through the cloud. It wicked through the cloud. I had a resistance right here at the 0.15 to 0.16, this green bar. And so, yeah, we're looking pretty good. We have another couple of resistance to go through. This is what I see happening right now. I think Bitcoin might take a little bit of a break, and it has around the current levels. And then I think it might even retrace a bit, but I think eventually it's going to punch through that 9100. And so basically Bitcoin is, a lot of people put their money into it. Market cap is, where is it, guys? Where is market cap right now?
Market cap is, it's currently at 398 billion
Yes, we went from 280 to 398 within the space of 3 or 4 weeks. I think that, I think the market's going to kind of cool off for a minute. And during that time, all the alts may cool off for a minute. I'm seeing like this expansion of alts, and then like they sort of expand to a point where that's kind of it for now. So I've got my stops in pretty tight on most of the coins I've got. And that includes, the little Bitcoin Cash I have. So that's what I see on Bitcoin Cash. But Z, do you have anything from?
No, I still see the same thing. Bitcoin Cash ultimately, is really up to the mercy of the average person. So Bitcoin Cash, whether it's going to be widely adopted or not, that's what it really comes down to.
So Z, you don't have a feel for the essay, the sentiment analysis on it?
The sentiment analysis on Bitcoin Cash is actually not that great. A lot of people actually think Bitcoin Cash is a scam.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people also think a lot of things are scams. So it's tough to say. Like Bitcoin in general is a scam. So it's tough to say, right? But in terms of all right, so the crypto community doesn't really like Bitcoin Cash. However, the average person likes Bitcoin Cash because it's cheaper. It's available on Coinbase. And it'll be cheaper transactions and it's faster, but it really depends on what is like. I think that the next 1 or 2 years, there's going to be a major player that takes most of this game, and it really depends on who's that player is, right? It's either going to be Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin gets faster. Who knows? But I think that we're definitely going to see a winner here in the next year. I think.
And how's Litecoin looking, guys? I mean, is Litecoin still in the running? Is it still a contender, or can we say that not much is going on? Just because I don't see the type of the adoption that I see with some of the other coins. What do you guys think?
Okay, so for technical TA wise, Litecoin actually looked pretty decent. It did a full reversal. It did a inverse head and shoulders into what is currently a flag right now. So in a sense, Litecoin doesn't look too bad TA wise. FA and SA wise, Litecoin is really strong SA. People really like Litecoin. The guys that hodl Litecoin for a long time now, people like Litecoin. And it has more traction than Bitcoin Cash because it's been around longer. But in terms of actual FA and stuff, nothing has really changed for Litecoin. They're still trying to implement the whole Lightning Network thing on it, and it needs something big needs to happen. Like Charlie Lee needs to really release some concrete, solid news that either like a big bank is starting to use it, or this major payment platform is now like going to be focusing strictly on Litecoin. Something big needs to happen, and that's what we're waiting for.
Yeah, we keep getting little bits of news that are sort of like, okay.
Yeah, it's just little bits of news, and now unfortunately Charlie Lee's like his word is kind of muddy right now because he's known for being kind of the guy who doesn't really shut up when he needs to shut up.
He's mouthy.
So, unfortunately, it kind of hurts Litecoin in that sense, and he needs to just release some solid, concrete news.
Yeah, this is Frank mentioned at the beginning of the show where he's apprehensive about the crypto market in general. You have these announcements come out, you think something's going to blow up. The reality is that things change so fast in the crypto sphere. And if you don't have actual progress behind what you're doing, then people are just going to go on to new opportunities. TA wise, Litecoin, yeah, I mean, I put it up on the screen here. You can see that it's broken from its downward trend. But if you ask me, Litecoin's on autopilot. Litecoin is following Bitcoin. So for me, until Litecoin differentiates itself from Bitcoin in some way, until I don't see any use of getting it, other than to maybe try to make some money in Satoshi. Now, if you go, that was the Litecoin USD, what I just put up. That was dollars, and that's fine. However, I'm more interested in collecting Satoshi, and it just doesn't look that great on the TA side. You have, and this is on the daily chart. So every single one of these bars on here is a day's worth of movement. And if you look at the recent downtrend on the Satoshi chart, if you want to use the wicks, which I tend to do, we're not seeing a breakout from a downtrend. And we are seeing it hasn't even touched its support down here. So I mean, we could go all the way down here. Now, if Bitcoin goes up a bunch, then all the way down here could be $200. It might seem, oh yeah, Litecoin's doing great, but you were better off holding Bitcoin. Now, remember, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only. None of this information is intended for anybody to use towards financial gain or anything like that. This is, in fact, you know, don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. If you listen to this, you'll lose all your money if you listen to me. But I'm just saying, like Satoshi, I don't really care about Litecoin. And to finish my brief thought is that the Lightning Network is going to make Bitcoin and Litecoin the same thing. So unless Litecoin does something different, I don't see it being a hold. That's all I have.
Now, you know, you're talking about collecting Satoshi. You know, we saw EOS is now 5th in overall market cap above Litecoin. Litecoin was battling Ripple forever. Now it's not even battling Bitcoin Cash anymore. It's battling EOS. It's not even close.
Well, it's about
close to Bitcoin
about
Cash
to fall
anymore.
out even more. ADA is going to surpass it.
Very close. Yeah. So the thing is, the people who are holding, and I can't speak for all of them, but I'll say this, my suspicion is many of the people who are holding Litecoin are doing it with the idea that it's going to go 1 to 4, 1 to 5, 1 to 6 with Bitcoin. And so it's seen as sort of a second chance at buying Bitcoin early, right? Or something like that, which is, you know, in a speculative market like this, that's what so many of the coins you're going to buy are about. You're hoping it's the next one that's going to go to the moon. And, but you know, it's a good question. Other than that, is there an exciting, compelling reason to hold or use Litecoin? And maybe there are some.
Well, that reason
none stand out.
That reason is not substantiated, though. There's
Right.
other than that.
It's
That
hope.
reason that
Yeah.
you're talking, it's hopium. Now, here's the thing.
EOS, however, something just as an example, not that these two are even similar, but EOS is showing major progress on building a platform that really could compete with Ethereum. Now, that's a compelling reason to see its price go up, for example.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at EOS right now, which I did bring up on the screen, it's having a moment of bearishness on the 4-hour, and it's had an amazing run. Z and I both kind of talked about EOS. We've been talking about it for a long time. We got in, oh gosh, way back here, and I actually still have a bag. It's got a tight stop loss on it, which actually may get hit pretty soon because we have this bearish moment. But if you look at this on the larger scale, sort of looks like an ascending triangle. And if it really is one, now the reason that I'm cautious right now is because the market expands and contracts, and it just got done expanding quite a lot. What you're seeing here, though, is a cup and handle, and which is a very bullish signal. The handle is played out, but we've had a rejection. So I'll draw the cup and handle so people can actually see it. So, you know, there's one thing that people are watching us and they're getting entertained, and they're like, they see a cup and handle, and so many of our calls actually play out how we want them to, that people think that they're all going to play out how they want them to. And if that was the case, then Z and I could just pack up and we're billionaires. And, you know, that's not the case. Not everything plays out how you want it to. Now, if this cup and handle did play out, mathematically, you're looking at a rise to like 16,000 Satoshi. And that could very well happen. But what we're having here is a strong bounce off of resistance, which tells me that sentiment, while bullish, may not be bullish enough. We've had a lot of money into the market, but then again, there's so many different opportunities. And we have had such a massive pump with EOS. We have gone from, and this is just in the last month or two, I'm just going to take it back to March, mid-March, from 53,000 Satoshi up to 129. So we've more than doubled in Satoshi. Now, I have a lot of people in the entertainment room that ask me in Crypto Z, oh, can you chart this and chart that? And they're coins that we've already kind of made our money on. You know, there are always some opportunities. We'll keep an eye out for those coins that already pumped. Maybe they retrace, maybe they pump again. We usually get 1 or 2 calls out of a good coin. But right now, to me, EOS is like, okay, we made our money. You know, I took profit. As a matter of fact, anybody watching the channel is going to see that I put tight stop losses on all my alts and on Bitcoin, because I feel that the market has expanded as much as it's going to expand for the moment, and it's going to cool off a little bit. But Z might have a different view on that. I don't know. I mean, do you feel that way, Z, or do you feel that maybe we have some more expanding?
I think that we will have a little bit more expanding to do. However, you are right in a sense to be wary. I've got tight stop losses in play. As Cowboy stated, the market cap has increased by over 100 billion, guys. 100 billion. That's a lot of money that came in actually within like a week and a half. So the market has expanded a lot, and we've all seen the market rise up a lot and kind of trigger back. Whenever I'm uncertain, I set stop losses and I kind of ride out the waves. And this way my bags were kind of protected. So, it's one of those things where we'll have to see where exactly the market sort of plays in. A lot of coins right now, if you take a look at a lot of coins are actually at critical points. We'll know within the next 48 hours whether they fall through or whether they push up. A lot of coins that we've called are actually in critical points right now. So we'll see. And real fast, back to Litecoin, guys. I see this a lot of times, people saying this. A lot of times people say that, they're into Litecoin because a person like Cliff High stated that Litecoin is going to be 1 to 4, 1 to 5 ratio, or like the data says that it's going to go exponentially big. Guys, you have to realize something, that Cliff High himself has stated that he is only right 50% of the time. He's only right 50% of the time. Nobody in this world, I don't care whether you're a psychic, whether you are whether you are the best technical analysis person out there, whether you're the best mathematician, can determine where Litecoin is going to be in a year from now. Nobody knows. It's simple as that.
That's really wrong, man. Cowboy, we know this certain person that does something with chicken bones. Can you get him real quick?
Hold on there. I believe you. I'm called for Billy Bob.
Billy Bob, what do you see Litecoin going? Can you give us a remote viewing, please?
Hold on a minute now. All I got to do, go outside, pick up a couple of my little mushrooms out the lawn, and I'm going to take them mushrooms, and I'm going to dry them out in the microwave. Take me about 3 minutes. And you know what I do when the microwave comes on?
I know. You put the chicken bones in the microwave. You wait for it to crack. You do a little turn as the microwave chicken bones are turning in the microwave. You turn with it.
Yeah, but this time I had the mushroom this time, because that mushroom, what the mushroom do is a mushroom, they add the 6 special cents in there, and Mike tells me Litecoin going to go to 1 million.
Wow. CZ, you're wrong.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. This guy Z doesn't know what he's talking about.
Besides Billy Bob over there, unfortunately, a lot of people are
you got to donate $400 every time Billy Bob does a remote viewing. You can join our special Founders Elite Club. You give us $400. It goes to Billy Bob so he can continue to plant more mushrooms and do more remote viewing. But go ahead, Z.
Yeah, so you have that. You have Billy Bob, but it's just, I know a lot of people are married to Litecoin. I know a lot of people love Litecoin in this space, and I know that this statement upsets a lot of people. But guys, nobody knows. Like you have to understand it. It's impossible to determine how exactly Litecoin is going to be adopted. I'm an engineer, guys. I do math all day long. I do calculations all day long. My risk assessment is there, but it's impossible to determine how exactly people are going to adopt Litecoin on a grander scale. It's not possible to know that. And I keep trying to tell people that, hey, look, just be careful. Just be careful about what coins you want to get married to long term. And it's a tough habit to break.
You're not saying it's not going to happen. You're just saying there's no reason to see that. There's nothing in the FA. There's nothing at the moment. There's nothing in the SA. There's nothing in the TA that shows that.
God damn it! Yes. I already told you.
You cannot determine that long term. You cannot determine that long term. It's just not.
And like you said, as much as we love our friend Cliff, who we've interviewed here on the show, and we all have learned a ton from, he'd be the first to tell you that it's it's speculative at best to go based on his reports.
Well, it doesn't take an engineer to tell you that. It doesn't take somebody who is basically an economist that does calculus-based statistics and econometrics and linear regression models. That's me, to be able to tell you that you can't determine the future. That's kind of like a basic thing. So what Z and I do is we tend to rely on what we can see, and it doesn't involve mushrooms and microwaves. I can tell you that.
Indeed.
I don't know, man. I mean, Billy Bob is pretty convincing to me, Cowboy. I mean, I don't know.
Here's the thing.
I did get a phone call from this new guy, and the new guy, he's some kind of employee. I don't know. Does he hodl? He hodls. Yeah, he hodls. He hodls. He's a hodl employee, and what he do is he gets a bunch of people in, and then give a bunch of info, and then he leaves them alone for 6 months while they lose money. I figured it's a good place for me.
I think you should try that channel. Anyway. Moving along, guys. What else?
Well, we were talking about PPT. That PPT has some fundamental analysis behind it. It's seeing a little bit of a. Actually, I want to go back to EOS. Sorry, guys. Before we go on to PPT, which I know we all love here, EOS does have in the TA some strength. We're seeing bearishness down here in the MAC and things like that. And this is on the 4 hour. So in the shorter term, you're going to see this bearishness play out, but the cloud does tend to act as a support, and you can see that right here where my mouse is right now at the bottom right of the cup. It bounced right off the cloud, and at that bounce we also had the blue line survive a bearish TK cross. So essentially it counts like a bullish TK cross above the cloud, which is a very bullish signal. So EOS may not be done yet. I'm still in EOS. I have a stop loss. I think it's in the lower 12s right now, or in the higher 12s. Let me check my portfolio, see if I still have EOS. Shoot. But then there's, while I'm looking at that, we can talk a little bit about PPT. And with PPT, I see it in the same sort of way that we're looking at Litecoin. And it's that we have people in charge who run their mouth a little bit too much and don't produce. Although I think Charlie Lee has produced a lot. I give Charlie Lee a lot of credit. He's a big person in the space. I think he just runs his mouth too much. Now we have Nico, who, Nico, I got a soft spot for PPT. I made a lot of money on PPT, but Nico just tends to want to talk a lot. And then whatever he produces is either not what he was going to produce at all, or it's like a fraction.
You are wrong. I will make the new one. You will wait and see.
Yes. I have no idea what that means. Sorry.
Neither does he. He has no idea.
It's his Nico impersonation. It's way off, but
maybe I will make this one for you.
You got to sort it with Nico.
No, it's British. Actually.
Yeah. So basically,
it's British. Oh, my bad. I thought it was Russian.
No. Nico is British. Well, I think he's actually from maybe somewhere else, but he lives in Britain and has a British accent. And with him, no, that's Australian.
You're right, Mike. That's Australian.
That's Australian. I'll make
back to the technical analysis while we work on our accents.
We're gonna do TA in Australian here. So we've got a bit of a TA cross, and it's going up the cloud, and it's going to bounce off the cloud. Now we've got a bit of resistance up here around like the 13.3 level of Satoshi, and as soon as we stop being rejected off of that, we might see ourselves a nice bit of a run. Perhaps up to the 0.16 resistance on EOS.
That's pretty damn good, bro.
Oh, thank you.
He's got next level accent skills.
He really does.
Yeah.
Epic.
Yeah, that's not a run. This is a run. So actually, we got to tell that story how I pulled the knife on that guy in Nepal. My knife was bigger than Crocodile Dundee's knife. I actually pulled a Gurkha blade on a guy.
Wow.
And lived to tell about it. But it's a whole another non-crypto story. We're going to talk about cryptos only. So with PPT, we're kind of seeing that same thing where there was a big announcement. Beta is supposed to come out May 1st. Technically, I think it's a closed beta, invite only right now. But the last time he said the beta was going to come out, it wasn't quite beta, and it turned out not even being alpha. So don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. I want to see it. I want to see it for real. I want to see invoices get sold. And supposedly that's happening right now. So we're going to keep our ear to the ground. And unfortunately, PPT is dropping right now. So I think
PPT is actually at a crucial point in the next 12 hours right now. It will bounce off of the cloud here within the next probably within the next like 6 hours actually, and we'll see whether it actually rebounds up or whether it falls out through.
What time frame are you looking at, Z?
Looking at 3 hour right now.
I'm looking at 4 hour. It's actually, but it's below the cloud on the 4. Let's see the 3. Are you on 2060 120 or 2040 120?
2060.
No, I'm on that. Okay, so you're looking at the 3 hour. Yeah. So what Z's saying, I've got up on the screen. Z's been having a lot of success looking at the 3 hour time frame. So we're going to stick with that for now. And on the 3 hour, it actually could bounce off of the cloud, right? Where
yeah. So we'll know within the next like 6 hours or so, guys. So for those of you inside the room, we have eyes on this. It's actually pretty critical. Right now, PPT did announce that they are beta live mode right now, which means that technically their smart contracts are up and running on the Ethereum network right now. So you can kind of see like how they run. But I believe that no one has been approved yet. The KYC process is happening right now, and that my understanding was that May 1st was going to be when it kind of fully launches. But I'm getting sort of mixed signals right now.
Well, that's because it's coming from Nico. I'm too busy with my KFC process. My KFC process getting in the way of my KYC process, eh?
Yeah, I really don't like Nico. I really don't like him. I think he's like the worst CEO since, I don't know, man.
What are you talking about? I've got a picture of me in my new office, and I've got like an Asian man behind a computer. It must mean that we're doing work, right? I mean, isn't that what you want to see? The guy rented an office. He hired a model, like some female model, and then like took some pictures of him in computers in like what do you call those work to go spaces, whatever, you just like rent a space. And this is back, a few months ago. Like, look, Nico, I don't want to hear it anymore. Produce. That's all I got to say. I think, do we want to talk any more about PPT? I'm starting to. I'm getting freaking indigestion over here. I don't want to freaking talk about PPT anymore.
Oh, God. we are very much about the accents today, guys.
All right, so
that was Joe Pesci.
Yeah, freaking you stupid.
No, I'm not going to stop. Anybody want to see anything else on the charts or?
No, I mean, in terms of chart wise, I think we're good. CA wise, SA wise and FA wise, guys. The coins that we still have eyes on. Actually, one of the coins I have eyes on actually for this week, I'll just give it out for free right now. But is actually Icon. What's it called? Take a look at. Icon currently right now is number 21 on the top 100 on CoinMarketCap. Its market cap is 1.46 billion. And it's risen up 8.64% in the last 24 hours. It is a very strong coin. For those of you who saw Icon back before the market sort of tanked, Icon was rising up a lot. And they have mainnet release end of this month into what I believe is 1 or 2 dApps being built on it already. So very exciting stuff for Icon. Icon is touted as the Korean Ethereum, essentially, or Korean Neo. So very exciting stuff for them.
Cool.
And a lot of a big one that we all love here, especially one of my favorites, is Ven or VeChain.
But see, first off, but let me what do you see right here on Icon on the chart? What do you see?
Let me pull it up.
Cup and handle.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's cup and handle.
I know stuff too.
Yeah.
I told you, Cowboy. I told you the other day. I was like, "Hey, is that a cup and handle on EOS?" You were like, "Maybe."
Just
leave the analysis to us, friend.
It was dirty. It was a dirty cup and handle, but I think it qualified.
Just realize, guys, that a cup and handle, yes, a cup and handle is great, but also realize that cup and handle is actually a meme sort of setup. It doesn't really play out all the time. I mean, it's tough call, right? Because the cup and handle is supposed to feature like various what's it called, parameters, and a lot of times in the crypto space, the cup and handle doesn't really play out to those parameters.
Yeah.
So just be wary about that.
There's a certain percentage of the handle that has to match the cup.
Correct. In both width and depth.
Well, and also what everybody should know is that last week, midweek, about 28% of all the charts had a cup and handle.
Yeah.
So it was like the reason
I found one of them.
Yeah. Well, actually, Frank, I don't know if it was that, but what I can say is that during that time there were a ton, and it just had to do with Bitcoin's movements.
I do remember you saying that. You were like almost everything has a cup and handle right now. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's
too excited. See, and there's another reason not to get too myopic about one coin, right? You see, because that day I was into EOS, right? So it's very helpful to have guys like you who are watching the whole market and have a feel for what's going on instead of just sitting there looking at your coin that you're waiting to make you rich.
Oh, I mean, if you were to rely on TA and nothing but, you're missing out on at least half the game. That's why Z and I make a good combo. We both do FA, we both do TA, but we kind of specialize one or the other. So, that's that's why we make the big bucks, right?
Heck yeah.
So, and then Ven, Z mentioned Ven. I'm going to pull that up. I actually don't have a stop loss on my Ven.
Can we also look at WAN when you're done?
Yeah, I got one ready to go, actually.
Beautiful.
Let's see here. Well, we have my prior chart on Ven. So let's see what I got. We got this. Yeah, it looks like we didn't go bear scenario, so that's good. Yeah, okay, so the last time I looked at it, we had bearish like charting, but we had bullish indicators, and it looks like the indicators won. And Ven's I've been holding it, and it's been going steady up, even in this cloud, it's still pushing up. And we have in the cloud, and this is on the 12-hour, which is kind of a big deal. We have a bullish TK crossover in the cloud on the 12-hour. That's a great, very solid bullish indicator. Z, you brought up Ven. So is there more that you wanted to talk about on that?
Yeah, there's a bunch of announcements this month, but it's fine. I'll just save it for later.
Okay. So FA is strong is kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's that. So do any of the guys in the room want to see anything in particular before we wrap it up? Let's see here. Yeah, not seeing any requests in the room. So anything else, guys?
And I can think of, you guys covered it. Well, didn't V just shout something out, or was it?
There's one.
Yeah, I did actually.
Oh, one chain.
Yeah, I want to share something we're working on, which is very close to being released. I'm going to give some details on it, but not all of it. The biggest problem facing the cryptoverse and the crypto community, no matter who you talk to, whether they got $10 in Bitcoin or they got 10 million in Bitcoin and alt currencies, the biggest problem is there's no way. These guys are all locked into it. So apart from like taking little by little and running it through Coinbase or some other exchange just to pull some dollars out and then hoping that the taxing authority in your local jurisdiction doesn't catch on to you or whatnot, or if they do, you're worried about it, or you're worried about your privacy and your security, that's a big problem. So most people, there's no way if you got $10 million in cryptos or $10,000 or a significant amount of cryptocurrencies just sitting in an exchange somewhere, there's no way for you to liquidate it all at once. It's just not happening. Okay, everybody's locked in. So what happens is that most people are stuck in an exchange. So what they're doing is they're just trading it up, taking a little bit out, little by little, trickling it down, or they're just jumping into various ICOs. That's about it. Okay, no one was able to get this done and pull all this together, get cryptos out of the cryptoverse into the real world for some real world usage. Well, I've been working on that problem for a while. In fact, Nick, I think Cowboy, we've had this conversation like weeks ago, and I mentioned to you, listen, I'm working on this. We're going to get this done. This was months ago in the making. This was weeks ago in the making, and I solved it. So what we're going to work on and we're launching is a platform that's going to allow you, whether you have 10 or 20,000 or or 50,000 or 100,000 in altcoins or whatnot. This is going to be a great way for you to come to us and you say, hey, you know what? It's time for me to, I've made my profits at the Watch Us Trade Room on the cryptoschool.io. I'm ready to cash out. Where do I go? Well, you ain't got to go to Coinbase no more. You ain't got to use some backward channel and do a couple of backflips and stand on your head and hopefully you get $500 or a few $1,000.
Ghettos.
Exactly. We can get out all of it. Okay. And what we're setting up for you guys is this. You can take the money and you can immediately take all your altcoins, roll it into Bitcoin, and we'll have a service that what we'll do is this. We can quickly take that crypto, okay, up to 50 grand worth, and instantly convert it into fiat for you. And then wire it into the bank account of your choosing with access to 24 different currencies. Option number one. Option number two is even more attractive. If you got more than 50K or more, okay, the other option is this, because of the World Trade Organization rules, WTO rules, and regulations. And this is all legit. It's all legal. And this is at a higher level. This is how the elites play. And I need you guys to pay very, very close attention to this. If you got 50K or more in cryptos, which, you know what, it's something easy to do. There's a lot of people. If you come into the Watchers Trade Room, you trade with us for a little while, you can build $20, $30, $40, $50,000 in cryptos rapidly. You can do that. It's not something that's out of the realm of impossibilities here. Now, if you have that type of crypto and you want to cash out, well, we can do this. We can convert it directly from your crypto to gold. Now you have an option, and not just any gold, not some stupid gold eagle nonsense, whatever, or Canadian maple leaf. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about LBMA certified good delivery, meaning the damn things are serial numbered. You punch in the serial number, it'll tell you where it was mined, where it was refined. It is the absolute pedigree, creme de la creme, Rolls Royce of gold. Okay, and it's also the most liquid gold. It's the most liquid gold. It's the gold that the elites use, not what you get at Jimmy John's Coin and Carry. All right, so we can get it into LBMA certified gold. Now you have three options, okay? You can either keep the gold stored with us in an allocated, segregated vault with your name on it, okay? You can either vault it with us, number one, and it's going to be vaulted in a jurisdiction away from Uncle Sam's and any sort of governmental sticky fingers, confiscation, any of that BS. It's going to be in a jurisdiction that is of the highest security, and highest privacy, okay? Once it's there, it's yours. Now, that's option number one. Or besides, you can vault it with us. Or option number two is you can send it. You can request us to send it directly to your front door. Then you have an actual LBMA certified gold bar. You have that gold bar. You can, I don't know, put it in your safe in your house. You can hold on to it, put it under your mattress, whatever the heck you want to do. Okay, you have that gold bar. It's yours. And then down the road, you want to liquidate it or whatnot, or use it as collateral for banking, which it will happen. Okay, it will happen. That's option number two. Option number three, you have that gold. You can also liquidate it. Okay, we can liquidate for you instantaneously. Okay, into 24 different currencies, and wire it into the bank account of your choosing. Okay, and this is where we're going to be connecting also with the RemainCalm.net services, where we're going to be working with X, and if you guys, maybe we can set up some self-directed IRAs, something for you guys where it goes directly to you. You can defer the tax penalty if you want. And again, all the tax reporting, all that stuff, that's entirely up to you. That's your decision. That has nothing to do with us, okay? But this is the service, and this is going to be done very soon. This solves all the problems. Nobody else could screw with it. Why? Because yours truly happens to be the only guy at my age bracket, okay, that has worked in LBMA good delivery, and has kind of been in both worlds a little bit, between the gold world, the metals world, and the crypto world. And being able to put it together, and then working with these guys like Z, Cowboy, Frank, my partner Matt on this end of the aisle, as well as Dave. We're working on all the stuff on this side, and then working on the back end with a major multi-billion-dollar player in the procurement business, one of the heavy hitters in the field. So I'm excited about this platform. You guys would be as well, because it solves all of the problems, and that's the way you want it. Safe, security, privacy, anonymity, and liquidity all in one shot.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
And this will be offered as an early bird special for all people in the Watchers Trade Room. You guys will get first access to it before it fully launches out. And also remember, guys, Dave from X22 is in the Watchers Trade Room.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. It's Dave comes in, V comes in. They say hello to everybody. People get to actually talk to to the guys. It's really cool. And then I know V had actually asked about Juan really quick. I pulled up a chart, and this is the chart as I drew it yesterday. It might have been the day before, actually. So I predicted it would kind of travel along this, I had it either going slightly up or slightly down. It's kind of gone right down the middle. And we're in this symmetrical triangle. It could go either way. We had a massive run with Juan. I don't think we have any big FA updates coming anytime soon, do we?
Juan has a lot going for right now. It's tough to pinpoint specifically a certain sector, but Juan's got a lot of partnerships and announcements, guys, that they aren't going to be giving out like predated sort of scenarios. Juan is going to play out exactly like Neo played out, guys. I'm just going to let you guys know that's exactly how I see it. And for those of you who weren't here for Neo's rise, Neo essentially rebranded about $17 or $15, and then it rose all the way up to $40. Along the way, there was no announcements in a sense. Once in a while there was a DApp announcement. As soon as these platforms start rolling out dApps, people buy into them, and simple as that. And Juan is going to be doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, so there you guys go, and take it from the guy who knows what he's doing. I think Z would probably tell everybody, don't sleep on Juan.
Don't sleep on Juan. Just Neo right now. Neo's actually at a pretty low point right now, and Neo right now is sitting at a $4.9 billion market cap. Juan is currently at a where's Juan chain at? I believe Juan is at 600 something million. So Juan still has another room to do an 8x before it catches up to Neo. So there's a lot of room there, guys, for Juan to rise.
Yeah, don't sleep on Juan. You can sleep on Aisha or Miguel, but not Juan. All right, so that's sorry guys. That's dude, yeah. Z as usual, killing it on the FA.
Yeah, great.
And I'll say it one more time. One of the reasons that we were able to make it through the big downturn, there are a couple of reasons. I know from my end, I was able to really kind of predict a lot of the drops in Bitcoin. So you had a bunch of these alts that were just dying. In this last couple months, Bitcoin would actually go through these massive drops. And when it did, especially with the heavy drops, I was able to sort of say, I think it's going to hit here. And then, it's going to go up here. We were able to increase a ton of Satoshi doing that. But what actually is the second and probably the bigger force that kept us going on a positive through the downturn was Z's fundamental analysis. Because when the entire market's fallen apart, the only thing that's really going to make you go up is going to be the coins that are, that really have something behind them. So, my TA, Z's FA, it's an amazing combo. We're just, all I can say is go to the live chat. We don't have to tell you all the hundreds of % that we're up this week and all that. Just go to the live chat in YouTube. Talk to the people in there. Ask what their results are. The results will speak for themselves. We don't have to sell this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with that being said, guys, we are at the end of the program. So I want to thank all of you guys. Give out your shout outs. Go ahead. Z, go ahead, and Cowboy and then Frank.
Just for me, guys, if you guys have any questions, just check out the live chat, guys. People are inside there. The results are in there. Check that out. This is an awesome opportunity, guys. We're in there a lot, and with alt market coming back, it seems a little bit at least. There's a lot of money to be made right now in this market. This is it's funny because we've only been open in the bear market. Now it's is the time to really get in and really start following what Cowboy and I do. And there's a lot of money to be made, guys. A lot of money to be made.
When we say follow what we do, we mean that purely in entertainment. Like you follow your favorite TV show. It's purely
they follow our trades. They follow our trades.
They follow our trade like I like to follow soap operas. Well, not really, but but yeah, none of this is financial advice. Look, I mean, a room like what we do and the service that we provide. Talk to the guys in the live chat. Talk to about the guys and gals in the live chat. $450 a month, and we got rooms out there doing a tenth of what we do. We're
not $450 a month. We're
no, that's. The other, yeah, Frank is right. To clarify that, other rooms that do like a tenth of what we do are charging $450. We charge $299. I mean, look, you guys, it's a steal of a deal. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Hey, I'll throw my 2 cents in there. We were doing our intro pricing at $149. Everyone in the room now is at the $299 price. And here's the thing. I think some people get used to the early bird pricing and think, oh, I missed it. Yeah, you missed that, but that's peanuts compared to what we're talking about here in terms of the value. So don't think to yourself, oh, I missed out. There's still room. We're creeping up on some higher numbers in there, but we're not ready to cap it off yet. And so go to thecryptoschool.io, click on Watch Us Trade. Now, if you're comfortable slinging cryptos around the internet, you're not terrified to use a trading platform like Binance. We even have a few free videos just to get you started with a few things like that if you're in the Watch Us Trade room. But if you're not comfortable with that stuff, then go get educated. Take the Crypto School video education series. It's a growing library of stuff. It's a one-time fee, $297. But if you are ready and you want to learn, and you want to watch Crypto Z and Crypto Cowboy, you want to see what they're doing and when we say watch, we mean they're posting text and pictures of charts and things like that. It's not a streaming video. There's no value. There's no value in literally watching them.
Unless you want to see in his underwear.
Yeah, you do not want to see a stream of guys who sit in front of their computers all day. You're getting the information, and it's fluid, it's easy to understand, and then also the Q&A is just great. They're always in the crypto discussion channel, helping people with stuff. And I wanted to say before we do anything else, just thank you to the hundreds of people who participated in Watch Us Trade and the hundreds more who participated in the Crypto School and the Crypto Community Slack. Great people. We've just enjoyed having so many of you, and we really appreciate it. And we're getting great feedback. People are loving it. So thanks, everybody.
Absolutely. And folks, again, it's a great time to join. And for the time being, we have a lot of people that are paying for their membership by selling out their cryptos through a place like Coinbase and whatnot. I mean, again, you can do up to 20K on Coinbase without them batting an eye, without any flashing any flags. So do utilize that, and that's how you do it. Store everything else up. Hodl your profits, and leverage it. And our platform will be up soon. And then you guys will be able to cash out real profits as well as real metal. So I'm excited about that, and it's all done professionally. We'll be working with a major corporation, a major logistics firm that's well known in the LBMA and gold world. It's a firm that deals exclusively in the Shanghai Gold Exchange as well as the Hong Kong gold markets as well. And as well as the Singapore Bullion Market Association.
We're excited. I was just texting you, and it was like I realized while you were talking, I was like, man, I need to move something because I'm working on a project right now, and it's like it really is hard. Like I know a lot about getting money in and out of cryptos. Okay, right. This is what I do, and what we're talking about here is really special. It's very exciting. It's on a whole other level than the other available means. So this is going to be great.
Oh, absolutely, man. And the fact is like you could do it without any worry of somebody like snitching on you.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a very different scenario than the usual. Gee, I wonder if this qualifies for not getting reported on if I get this little amount out because I got to do this or that.
But you guys, if V Solution was available like 6 months ago, my portfolio would be more than double what it is.
Yes.
Right now.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that, and I forgot to bring it up. What an incredible way to protect some profits is to move them into gold.
Absolutely. And you know what? The next the bull market run is coming. So having this platform up and ready and working, whoo! Get ready, boys. Get ready. All right. With that being said, we're over and out. I'm taking it away. Have a great day, guys.